find your house. You're all ready to close. The storm is here, but guess what? You forgot to bind the policy.
Looks like you're up the creek without the paddle now.
Ruh-roh, another closing delay.
Just pass the quackers, will you? Hello, everybody. My name is Barry Horvath, and this is Moving Forward TV, your local market update.
And I am Dylan Gaston. Thanks for joining us today. On today's show, we are talking about flood insurance, homeowners insurance, because we just came through that wicked storm. Well, tropical storm. Wasn't all that wicked. We've had worse, but
it was good. It was good.
But we have a guest today.
Hey, did that intro quack you up or what? Huh?
Do you have your ducks in a row now?
Yeah, see, good one.
My ducks in a row.
I love Denise.
No, I didn't know. This is actually going to be very important for those of you who are looking to buy a new home, or even if you're selling your home. I think it's imperative you know this, because the key is, and we always do our shows about what happens in the real world. Well, this is the real world. We had a storm pass through. We had, I don't know how many inches of rain. Was it 6 inches of rain over a very short time? So, and we had high tide, so there was a lot of flooding. Now, how did the ducks come in? I have no idea, but that doesn't matter. But the important part is,
I heard St. Pete had a mermaid.
Yeah, they did. That's hilarious. But you must have homeowners insurance and flood insurance if you're in a flood area, if you're getting a loan on a property, and people forget that. And if you don't have the...
Perhaps you should introduce our guest.
Oh, we have a guest today? She's a mermaid.
Or you could just carry the whole show if you want.
I was on a roll.
We'll be the eye candy.
All right. Everybody, I just assume the whole world knows Denise O'Brien.
I know.
She's the world famous Denise O'Brien, the one, the only, one of the best agents in the entire state of Florida, right here on our show. How did we get that? How did we score that?
We're just so lucky.
I'm lucky
she loves us.
I do love you guys. You're awesome.
She's very diligent about what she does. And you know what? When we had questions about all of this, she was our go-to to find out.
Always.
What
has been for years.
What's the real answer and what's really going on, and how are we going to get these loans closed on time?
So Denise, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
How did I forget her anyway?
I don't know. You just kind of just like rolled right into things, which was awesome.
I was thinking mermaids.
I had
So do you have mermaid insurance, or probably not?
No, we can't insure their tails.
Tell us about Denise. Tell our audience about Denise, what you do, and
for those like 2 or 3 people who don't know you.
Well, I've been at Holiday Whitco Insurance 7 years now. I started out in State Farm 10 years ago and just kind of evolved. State Farm is there, and my daughter works at State Farm, so you know it's like
it's a good place.
But you're not there anymore.
No, I'm not there anymore. I'm at Holiday Whitco, and we're an independent agency, and we insure anything and everything. We insure your unique needs, and we also have the FEMA flood, but we also have a private flood, which is a lot less expensive.
Okay.
So there's options.
So it's not just homeowners that you do. You also do cars. And boats and things like that. And another important thing to mention is that Denise just doesn't do just one insurance company. You have several different lines that you can pull for homeowners as well. A lot of people think there's only Citizens or all we have.
Florida.
And for a while, that's what we were stuck with.
Mm-hmm.
But now a lot of other insurance companies have started coming back into our markets, right?
Yes, yes.
And how many do you carry now?
We have about 10.
That's great.
10 companies.
10 companies actually writing in the state of Florida?
Yes.
See,
homeowners?
Homeowners.
So I think
homeowners.
And
I think maybe it's it's time for people to relook at those old Citizens policies. Maybe there's better options out there. Okay.
Most definitely.
So let's talk about the storm and all that water we brought in. Did you see all that?
Yeah.
Colin. So how that can affect a closing. So, you know, I'm sure you had crazy phone calls on Monday because a storm was coming through this last week.
Yes, definitely.
And what happens? I mean, you know, insurance companies, it's all risk-based.
Right.
And obviously, for some reason, they think it's a risk when there's a tropical storm coming through. I don't know why. Because it brings winds and rains and damage.
And I'll bet your phones blow up. Even people who aren't buying a house, just in general, am I covered? Am I insured? Are they?
If they do not have flood insurance, and the flood we just had, our phone started ringing off the hook. Hey, that flood policy you quoted a year ago, can I get that now? No. There's binding restrictions. When a tropical storm is issued for Florida, they shut the state down. Some carriers are a little bit lenient, but flood, the government agencies, Citizens, and FEMA, when that tropical storm warning is issued, you're done. You can't bind anything.
So the key word is warning.
Warning.
Not if there's a watch.
A watch.
But if there's a true warning, which means
Right.
it's happening.
It's on the
there.
way. It's here.
Okay.
It's coming.
So if there's a warning for the Keys in Key West, and you're trying to bind a policy somewhere out in Pensacola, Florida, the other end of the peninsula, what happens?
You're done.
You can't do it.
That's right.
Regardless.
Regardless.
Wow.
So, okay, so this is really important for our real estate professionals to
Right.
know.
Yes.
Our homeowners buying, they need to get a binder in place. Soon as you find that property, the first thing they need to do then is shop for insurance.
Yes.
Get a qualified agent to assist them and get the
Right.
thing bound, because we're in storm season, folks.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
June 1st.
Quack me up.
June 1st until November 30th, folks, that is hurricane season down here in
So
Florida.
they're not closing unless they have a
So
policy.
when you're on your way to the grocery store to buy your gallons of water, because you know it,
Right.
before you leave the house, call your insurance agent.
Right.
Get that bound.
But you know what? If the insurance is already in place, they have no worries. Even if the storm
Right.
is here, if they applied for it, they
Paid for it.
Paid for it. That's the key on flood. When is
have to
flood?
pay for it.
Okay, flood. All right. So tell us the difference between homeowners when it's.
Yeah.
When is it? When do you get the binder on that versus flood? How does that all work?
Homeowners, when you bind it, you actually get the document, the declaration page, and you have X amount of days to pay for that policy.
Okay.
So
If
that
you're-
can be paid at closing if you're buying a new
Yes,
house?
Yes.
Okay.
And if that closing is delayed, then you need to call the agent that wrote the policy so that we can amend the closing date
Okay.
ahead of time, instead of waiting 30 days later, and then we get binder restrictions, binder,
Okay.
trying to think, binder,
Is that something that just
okay.
changed recently? Because I think that people, I don't know. I know that it's been lately, I'd say in the last year, that everybody's getting very particular about, I need the date, I need the date.
Yes.
And sometimes on the mortgage side, real estate side, it's kind of hard to know when exactly the date's going to be, because we have conditions that we're clearing or whatever else, and sometimes, through no fault
So
of
wait,
anybody,
it's
there's
delayed.
delays.
That's her favorite word. Delay.
delay.
So we have a date.
That's her
Delay.
name. Delay.
No. So we have a date of, July 1st or something like that on a closing date, but maybe things delayed it and it has to go to July 5th or something like that. We need to call you and tell you.
Yes. If it's a few days, that's not a problem.
Okay.
The effective date will be amended by the settlement statement, but if it's going to be a 15, 20-day delay,
Right.
you need to let us know, because we need to reissue the binder.
Okay.
Okay.
It's very interesting.
Right.
But I think right now, all of this talk about flood stuff is making me hungry as usual. I think Casey's cooking up
You just
some.
want to know what Casey's cooking.
I think I know what she's cooking, but I'm not going to tell you. But I think it's for breakfast, so let's check it out. It's some waffles Florentine, baby, and I'm excited.
Yum.
Yummy.
You know what? Whoever thought of putting? Well, we'll talk about it when we get back. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Chat and Dish. I'm Casey Quaretti, and today I'm going to show you another savory waffle dish. We're going to Italy this time for Florentine waffles. I'm serving 2 today, so I need 6 ounces of fresh baby spinach, 1 nice large sweet onion, 2 eggs, 2 slices of bacon that have been cooked until crisp and crumbled, 2 tablespoons of Parmesan, a little bit each of garlic and onion powder, not salt. Then we're going to have salt and pepper, a little bit of olive oil for our pan, 2 nice pre-cooked waffles that we put in the oven at 200 to keep them warm. That's it. Let's go make our Florentine. Prep on this is amazingly easy. All you have to do is thinly slice your onion. All right, just get everything over to the stovetop. Drizzle 2 tablespoons of olive oil into a saute pan. You're going to heat it over medium. In go your onions. Sprinkle on your garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. Give it a good stir. Lid goes on and let this saute until the onions are translucent. Onions are all soft and translucent. Now in goes the spinach. And don't worry, this seems like a ton, but it's not. It wilts down to practically nothing. Lid goes on until the spinach is wilted. Now that the spinach is wilted down, I want you to take a pair of tongs or a spoon and just mix together the spinach and the onions. Leave it uncovered and let some of the liquid evaporate. Form your spinach into 2 little nests and make a nice little indentation in the center. Drop 1 egg into the center of each of the little nests. Don't worry if a little bit of the white rolls off. Sprinkle with a little grated Parmesan, your bacon bits, and then cover until the eggs are cooked. Oh, eggs have been on for 3.5 minutes. Yolks are still soft. Now it's time to dish up onto our waffle. I am going for the world's record largest bite, I think, but I want to have a little bit of everything on my fork. Oh, the sweet onions and the spinach, eggs and waffles. Oh, you've got to give this a try. Your mouth will be in absolute heaven. As always, thank you for visiting and sharing this waffle Florentine experience with me. Until next time, I'm going to miss you. Cheers.
Waffles.
Waffles. You know, I
Yummy.
want to know who ever thought of putting spinach and waffles together. It's kind of like, you know, those hamburgers and donuts. Have you ever had one of those?
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
at the
yes.
fair.
Yeah. Who thinks
Heart
of that
attack on a
stuff?
plate. I know, I
It's
know.
gross, but waffles and spinach, I
Yummy.
would have
But
never
Casey makes everything look good and healthy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's got to be pretty good if she makes it. So
I
that
know.
looked really good. Thanks, Casey, for that. But actually, good thing her kitchen is not flooded from this storm because we wouldn't have been able to have her on this week. So, and she's out there on the water too.
We should have had her make like something
Yes.
with duck soup. Oh, that'd have been bad.
Duck soup. That's really bad.
All right, sorry.
All right, let's get back to talking about the insurance and the situation and how it can affect homeowners and the whole flood thing. And now we're in storm season. We're in peak season right now.
We
folks.
are.
Yes.
So
We're back with Denise, by the way, in case you guys forgot. This is Denise O'Brien. So
Holiday
anyway.
with Coinsurance.
Yeah, she waves. She goes,
So,
Hi, Mom.
so primarily, Denise, as you know, most of our audience is realtors and home buyers and real estate professionals. So let's talk about when somebody is buying a house. One of the key questions or things that we tell people right away up front is call and get quotes immediately on
yes.
insurance,
Yes.
because I've seen them anywhere from $800 a year to $3,000 a year,
especially,
all over the board.
Yep, since we're now in an environment where you actually have to prove your income to qualify for a loan.
It makes a big
It makes a big
difference.
difference if your payment is, you know, if your insurance is
go up by
$2,400, $200 a month versus, you know, $75 a month on a
Right.
newer property. So
Right.
let's talk about that. Can you help us out with the criteria? What plays into that, Denise? You know, so that, you know, we want people to call right away when they find a property, especially when they're really tight on their debt ratios.
Yeah.
But what plays into the cost of insurance when you quote it? How does that all work?
There's so many
Is there like a
different
mystery
factors.
ball you rub and you go, "Oh, can you tell me how much the insurance will be?"
Get a
Not
lot
based
of,
on mood.
Yeah, a lot
Right.
of agents call. Can you just give me a ballpark? And I was like, no, I can't do that. It depends the age of the home. It's kind of
Right.
like our bodies. You know, may look fine on the outside, but as we age, things go wrong internally that we can't see. That's the same thing with your house.
So what are you saying? We're old and things are messing up.
I'm there. I'm there.
I guess, yeah, kind of like getting health insurance, right? It's going to be more for the older you are. Houses are the same way. That's a great analogy.
And your roof, if it's a hip roof, it's safer, less
Hip?
likely for it to go off.
Like it's really
if it looks like
cool?
a pyramid, yeah.
Is
If
that
it looks like a
Hey,
pyramid.
it's like, woo, hey, you're
Yeah.
cool.
So the
Yeah.
pyramid-looking
Cool.
ones are the good ones?
Yeah, pyramid-looking ones. The
Okay.
ones
Not
that
the
have the
flat.
upside-down V on
Right.
the end, that's a gable, because the wind can whip through there and rip the roof off in the event of a hurricane.
So are
Really?
gable roofs a little bit more expensive?
Yes.
Then-
Well,
okay.
they don't have the credit that the hip roof has.
Okay, okay.
And then you have a wind mitigation inspection. If you have a newer roof, then it's built to the Florida Building Codes of 2004, so then it's more compliant.
Okay.
Is that required
And that will give you another
now
credit.
from an insurance binding? Do you need to have a wind mitigation?
No, we just need to know the roof's been updated, but I'm trying to save this client as much money as they can so they
Okay.
can afford that loan.
How old are roofs, speaking of roofs, and this is kind of off, but how old are they allowed to be?
Some are 15 years now.
Okay.
If it's 20 years and you have 5 years remaining roof life, if it's a hip roof, it's up to 35 years.
Okay.
I mean, tile roof.
Okay, so
So other things that factor into it besides just, style of roof and things like that, age of house?
Age of house, you really want to look, is it concrete block or is it frame? A concrete block is a sturdier home. A frame home will go up and fire quicker than a concrete block
Sure,
home.
sure.
And kind of like the Three Little Pigs,
How close to a fire hydrant, right?
How close to a fire hydrant.
all the time.
I know. She definitely fits in.
An analogy.
And I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. It's all in my head now.
That's right. And
I got my
your-
own show going.
Yeah, I know.
Your deductibles, that comes into play.
Okay.
You generally it's $1,000 all other peril, and that means anything but a named or numbered storm. That's your hurricane deductible. So there's 2 separate deductibles on that. What you can afford. Can you afford $1,000 out of pocket if something goes wrong?
Right.
Can you afford $2,500? A little less premium if you get the $2,500. Now on the hurricane, it's generally a 2%. And that's of your dwelling amount, what your home is insured for. Say your home is insured for $100,000, you've got to pay the first $2,000 in the event of a hurricane
Okay.
or a named or numbered storm, like Colin. If there were tornadoes that hit you, the root of that cause was a hurricane or a tropical storm, then you have your hurricane deductible.
Okay.
And we insure the homes at replacement cost. We go in.
That was
and-
the other thing I was just going to say.
Yeah.
People are buying a house for like $80,000 or something, but the
Yeah,
insurance,
why is the insurance
is 140.
That's
Okay.
my number.
Okay, y'all are like brother and sister now.
I know.
We've been this way. You'll get used to us.
That's good. Okay, we have a little program that does replacement cost. Your roof comes into play, the square footage, your flooring, is it tile, is it carpet, is it vinyl, the bathrooms, are the countertops granite, are they just laminate, your kitchen?
So the countertops make a difference?
How
in the
much is
rate?
granite versus a laminate?
Okay.
Right.
Next question.
All
Got
right.
it.
Got it.
Does it have a pool? Is a pool attached? Does it, have a screen enclosure? Citizens does not cover screen enclosures. So
Really?
anyone with a pool and a screen enclosure, they're just out of luck. And that screen enclosure can be $10,000 to $20,000. We do have companies that will cover that.
Wow. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Yes.
No, I did
I
not.
don't think our underwriters know that either.
So that comes into play on the replacement cost.
And are these things that, well, I guess it's the optional part to the homeowner, the person who's getting the quote from you, is really the deductible, because you're going to have to go
Right.
with, they already have a pool, they already have the screen enclosure, so you're going to have to find somebody who's going to ensure that.
Right.
Thank God you have 10 or more
Yes.
lines that you're writing with.
Yes, and different guidelines. Also, one other thing is the contents, your personal property in the home.
Okay.
Most companies insure it at 50%. Some will let you lower it to 25%. You need to make sure it's replacement cost. Otherwise, if you buy a TV and it's 10 years old, but it's still a big screen TV, they're just going to give you yard sale prices on that TV unless you have replacement cost.
So they're getting a good deal on it.
So
Yeah.
what about the taking videos of everything? I remember
That's
years
a good
ago-
thing.
It is a good thing?
It is a
Well-
good thing.
And keep the DVD in a safe deposit box at the bank or
Yes.
something like
Yes.
that for safekeeping.
So let's come up with some more tips that we can give our homeowners when they're getting insurance when we get back. But first, we got a tip here from Devin from McWilliams and Son Let's see what he has to say this week.
Hello, my name is Devin with McWilliams & Son Air Conditioning, and today what I want to talk about to you is different filters, what's good for your system and what's not, and what we see a lot of. Today up here I have two different filters you could purchase at a lot of local warehouses, do-it-yourself stores. Up here is a pleated filter. We like to refer to these as the white accordion filter. What these can actually do to your unit, if not installed correctly or if you don't have a lot of returns in your home, these can actually restrict so much air that they will cause your unit to freeze and cause the compressor to lock up. If you'd like to use these filters, in a lot of homes and a lot of the older homes, you should just have another return installed. If you have a newer home, a lot of the homes made after 2005 were prepared for the higher efficiency systems and the better filters. They have more than one return. They have 2 to 4. Some homes actually have 5. This filter is okay in that home. It won't restrict that much air. But if you're in an older home, you should actually be using something similar to this one. These ones are kind of the throwaway. We refer to them as the hog hair. You normally see them in green, blue. You can find them at your local warehouses, your local do-it-yourself stores. So this is what you should be using. This is what we want to see you using. They only last a month, but they do exactly what you need to do. Catch what's needed and allow enough airflow to the unit so you don't cause your own issues. Give us a call at McWilliams & Son.
All right, we're back with Denise O'Brien talking about insurance.
I know, and I could just go on forever
Yeah,
because
but
I
we
get
don't
a
have
lot
time,
of questions.
Glenn.
I know, but we don't have
This is a
time.
short show.
We get a lot of questions
You
about
got to hit the
insurance.
spots and we got to move
Yes.
on.
And I just want to thank you, not only for being on the show, but for, just all of the wealth of knowledge, because I'm one of the ones that call her all the time saying, okay, I have this person who's looking at this house at, such and such address. I'm going to have them call you.
And don't wait till there's a flood storm to call your
Right.
insurance agent.
No.
Wait.
Right.
As soon as you're in the market for a house or you're listing your house, or if you're a real estate professional, establish that relationship with an
an insurance.
agent
Yes.
so you know what you're dealing with.
Yes.
It's a huge part. Everybody, it's so funny, people shop their mortgage. Oh, they're an eighth cheaper. Oh, they're a quarter cheaper.
I know.
Shop your insurance. Sorry.
And
but
somebody like Denise is perfect because she has so many lines, so she can shop a whole bunch of different insurance
got some
companies
lines
for
us.
you.
Hey, baby, be back to pick you up later. Sorry.
You quack me up.
Quack me up. Gosh, she does fit in.
What's a nice girl like you doing at a place like this?
All right, so
Anyway.
let's move on to flood because we didn't even get a chance to hit flood
Yeah,
yet.
let's talk about flood and binding it. When is it bound?
It is bound when you pay for it.
So that cannot wait till closing. That needs to be paid.
Well,
Yes.
ahead
let's
of time.
rephrase that. It can wait till closing, but there's a chance that
There's
you
a
might
huge
not be
risk.
able to bind it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you know there's a storm warning out there, you need to go ahead and bind it. Your agent needs to be proactive and go, this is coming.
Right.
They need to go ahead and pay for this if you
Right.
want to close on your closing date.
And I know you've called me before and said,
Yes.
when last year when we had some storms coming through, hey, we need to do this now.
Yes.
So, okay. Now, what about when somebody is looking at a house and they're trying to figure out if it's in a flood zone or not? Where do they go for things like that? Do they just call you or
They call me.
public records or?
Don't depend on public records because
Okay.
those are not up to date. The flood maps were changed in 2014, so you want to get a
Right.
flood zone determination, and that will tell you if you need flood. If it's in an A or V zone, you will need flood.
Does a flood determination cost them anything to
No,
get?
no.
Free.
Free.
Free. Call Denise.
Yes, the elevation certificate will cost you. So,
Okay.
and
But
that's
a
if you're in a flood
determination
zone.
will let you know. Now,
Correct.
I know sometimes in public records, they do have them there, but sometimes they don't. So don't rely on that.
Don't rely on that. Don't rely on that because, yes, you can have egg on your face if you rely on that. If it has an X or a dash, once again, the flood map's changed. You want to make sure.
Because that means the county just doesn't know.
Right.
So
Hey,
you need to do your
be
due
nice,
diligence.
Be nice to the county. They know what they're doing.
I'm just saying the realtor needs to do their due diligence and pick up
Right.
the phone and find out, if it says dash.
Or
is
call
it
your
isn't
insurance
it?
agent when you are showing a house. I've had them on the road. Can you tell me if this is in a flood zone? It takes me, less than 5 minutes to run a flood zone determination, yay or nay, proceed, or he will need flood. And depending on the year the house was built, will he need an elevation certificate or not?
Well,
And you just said the flood maps were changed in 2014, so they probably also shouldn't rely on the seller. The seller might say,
Right.
well, I don't have flood insurance. I don't need flood insurance because
Right.
he might not know.
but it could change.
He might not
All
know.
right, so
we
let's
need to check
summarize
that.
what
Okay.
we've learned today, because we've learned so
Ooh,
much.
I know.
We've learned so much. So we learned today that get your insurance policy binder, especially on flood.
Ahead of time.
Ahead
Ahead
of
of
time.
time.
Shop for your insurance ahead of time.
Right.
Spend the extra few dollars, get a wind mitigation, because you can get a
Yes.
huge discount.
Huge.
You can, what's a wind mitigation cost? $75?
$75.
Yeah, typically.
To save yourself
$125.
hundreds.
Save yourself hundreds, okay?
Over 5 years.
Align yourself with a competent insurance agent, just like your
Yes.
mortgage professional and your real estate professional. They're
Yes.
part of the team.
Right.
So, that's some good information. Any last minute tips before we go to community announcements, Denise, that you would tell people on insurance, what they should do to be prepared? And
Just be prepared with your flood insurance, and flood is not always FEMA. They do have private flood now. So if you're in an A zone and you're below your base flood elevation, you can get a private flood insurance policy that could be less than half. Ask
So if they
KC.
have it, call you
Call
so
me.
they can see if they can get
Yes.
something less expensive.
That's some good stuff.
That's
All right,
some
let's
good
talk about
advice.
community
I love
announcements
Denise.
now.
Thank you,
What do we
Denise.
got upcoming?
We have stuff upcoming.
Thanks for asking, Dylan. We got a lot of stuff coming. I'm so glad you brought that up. So
Barry, do you have anything upcoming?
Oh, yes, thanks for asking. All right, June 24th, we got a sunset cruise out of Gulf Harbor.
Yes,
Yay.
which is
And
gonna
it
be
is a
fun.
Barry for Pasco campaign fundraiser, but
Great.
it's also a great time. And
We
it's
always
gonna
have
be-
fun at those.
Yeah,
So-
it'll be appetizers, beer, wine, and a sunset cruise to the island that I didn't get to go to last week. Bobby said I came back to the show. So we got that coming up.
Good. And that's open to anybody.
Open to anybody and
So
everybody.
just like our Raise bus trips and our Lightning bus
anybody
trips.
can come.
It's a boat cruise.
It's
So
a boat
it'll be
cruise.
fun.
That's nice.
Anything else you want to ask me? Oh, yes, I do have another date for you. June 28th, we have a fundraiser over at Oasis in Port Richey.
I love
Oh,
Oasis.
Oasis.
Love
That's
On Little
a
Rose.
Great little coffee shop. We'll have some appetizers.
And when is that, the
food.
28th of
28th,
June?
and that'll be at 6 p.m.
And that's open to anybody as
Open
well.
to anybody that wants to eat or drink. It seems like
The
a
great
great
coffee
idea.
that they
Yeah,
have.
Yes, absolutely a great time. But I know Denise is very involved in the community
Yes.
too. So
Very.
Denise, tell us about what announcements you may have going on.
Okay, we have the West
Aren't you
Pasco.
glad I asked?
Yes. We have the West Pasco Community Service Council. We have our only fundraiser of the year, and it's the Bachelors, this year, Bachelorettes Baskets and Services Auction on July 22nd at the Spartan Manor, 6:30 to 11. And we have wonderful prizes. If you've never been to the Stilt House, we're auctioning off a weekend at the Stilt House. And the Bachelor and Bachelorette packages, you can either buy the date package and not take the bachelor and take your husband. So this is open to couples, singles. If you are looking for a bachelorette or are looking for a bachelor,
Or you're just looking getting rid of your significant other, this might be a great place to do it, right?
Barry.
Sorry.
well, it might be in the doghouse on that one.
I'm just saying, I'm just throwing
not
it out.
advocating
I'm just
that.
trying to help you raise money for a good cause here, okay?
Okay.
And again, it's open to anybody, right?
Open to anybody.
And are you looking for vendors and things like
Yeah.
that, sponsors?
We're looking for donations and sponsors, baskets.
Baskets.
And how can people
Awesome.
find out about that?
They can contact me at Holiday Whitco Insurance. They can contact the Chamber,
Good.
Okay.
Community
That's good
Service
stuff.
Council.
And that is again July,
22nd.
okay, so get your baskets
And
together.
I forgot to mention the Barry for Pasco. You can book that online at barryforpasco.com.
Yeah, let's vote for Barry.
Yeah, thank you,
Yay.
thank you.
Yes.
All right,
All right.
everybody, thanks for watching us. What some great information, Denise. Awesome,
Denise,
awesome,
for
good
being
Thank
stuff.
you for having
We
us
need you
here.
on here after every storm so we can just hang out.
Probably
with
before
floodwaters.
every storm.
Yeah,
Before every storm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
would be a better thing.
Yeah.
So let's hope people watch us before. So don't forget to like us on your social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Get us out there. We're on YouTube. What else are we on?
Tumblr.
Dylan's always on
Tumblr.
Tumblr.
I don't even know what it is, but but we always say it.
Someday you're going to watch it. I don't even know if you can watch it.
Can we do it Instagram? That's just a picture though, right?
Yeah,
we
Instagram.
can do that too.
We can do Instagram.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you. We are today and every day.
Moving on.
Okay, moving forward. Same thing.
Moving forward.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next
She's
week.
moving on. We're moving forward. See you next week.
Bye-bye.